pentatonic scale is almost identical to the blues scale. To turn the pentatonic scale into the blues, we're going to add this blue note. A lot of people use different terms for it. They might call it a sharp 11, a flat 5, a flat 3. But the bottom line is it's a blue note, it's an extra note. Now we were in G major pentatonic or E natural minor pentatonic. This is going to be the E blues scale. It's exactly the same as the E minor pentatonic scale with one extra note, the blue note. So we'll jump back and we're going to use exactly the same numbers that we were using before as far as pattern numbers goes. This is all about the major method where we always relay everything back to the parent major scale. So this pattern 7 that we had in the pentatonics, again, it's called pattern 7 because your first finger would be on the 7th pitch of the major scale if it was included in the pentatonic. It's not in the pentatonic, so we're going to start with your second finger on the 3rd fret. This is pattern 7 of the pentatonic scale, which was 2-4, 1-4, 1-4, 1-3, 2-4, 2-4. That's the straight pentatonic scale. The blue note that we're going to add happens once every octave. However, there's some places, like in this scale, where the blue note is going to be just outside the pentatonic scale, and you have to slide in or play the next note coming in. So this blue note, if it's outside the pattern on one side, then it's also outside the pattern on the other side on the string above it. The way we'll organize this is as you ascend, or as you come from the low E string to the high E string, we'll play any blue note that's not inside the pattern over to the left and pull in. Then when we come back up the neck, we'll play the blue note over to the right and pull back. The reason for this is that if you play this scale and the next note is pushing your little finger out, it's harder for us to push with our hands out than it is to pull in. Our hands or musculature is stronger pulling in than it is pushing out. So we're going to grab it on the outside and pull in. We're going to stretch first, play the note, and then pull in. I'll show you what that's going to look like. So in this first pattern, your second finger's on the 3rd fret, your little finger is on the 5th fret. Now your first finger on the next string is going to stretch out to the 1st fret and slide into the 2nd fret. So you play, then your little finger's on the 5th fret, then it's 1-4 on the next string. The next string, the G string, is 1, 2, 3. The 2 there is the blue note. The last strings are 2, 4, 2, 4. Then you can come on back, 4, 2, 4, 2. 3, 2, 1, then 4, 1, 4, 1. Then the last string, stretch the little finger out to the 6th fret, slide into the 5th, and back to the 3rd fret. All together, that sounds like this. So that's the first pattern that we're going to learn for the pentatonics, or for the blues scale. This is the E blues scale, and again there are 5 patterns. The next pattern has your first finger on the 5th fret. Here, this is an awkward pattern, but you're going to play 1, 2, 3 right out of the gate. So that's on the 5th fret, the 6th fret, and 7th fret of the low E string. Then the 5th fret and 7th of the next string, 5th and 7th of the next. Now, normally you play the 4th fret and the 7th fret on the next string. We've got a super stretch here. Come out to the 3rd fret, slide into the 4th, then come up to the 7th. The next string, on the B string, you're going to play 5th fret and 5th fret and 8th. Then you got 5th, 6th, and 7th fret of the last string. Coming back, which is 7th fret, 6th fret, 5th fret. Then you got your little finger out there on the 8th fret, first finger on the 5th. Now again, you've got the little finger on the 7th fret, first finger on the 4th. Now instead of pushing out for that blue note, we're going to grab it over on the right side. Little fingers on the 8th fret, sliding into the 7th fret, then back to the 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 7, 6, 5. Those are fret numbers, not finger numbers, obviously. So this pattern sounds like this. Again, because in the major method, all of this is related back to the major scale. This is patterns 1 and 2 combined from the major scale. The next pattern is pattern 3 from the major scale. Again, this is all related back to the major scale, but all of these patterns are patterns for the E blues scale. You're now on the 7th fret, and you're going to be putting your first finger on the 7th fret, your little finger's on the 10th fret. So we're going to play 1, 4, 1, 4. Just like the regular pentatonic scale. Now you're going to play 1, 2, 3 on the next string. Then 1, 3. Then your fingers are 2 and 4. This is on the 8th and 10th fret. Now on the last string, you're going to stretch your first finger out to the 6th fret and slide in to the 7th, and then play your little finger on the 10th. When you come back, you play your little finger on the 10th and your first finger on the 7th. Then the little finger stretches out to the 11th on the B string and slides in to the 10th. Then second finger on the 8th fret. Then you've got 3, 1 in fingers, and that's on the 9th and 7th fret. Then 3, 2, 1, then 4, 1, 4, 1 on the final 2 strings. So all together, this sounds like this. Again, these are all the patterns to the E blues scale, which are identical, except for the blue note, to the E minor pentatonic scale, which is also the G major pentatonic scale. The next pattern, you're going to come on up, so your second finger's on the 10th fret. And as it relates to the major scale, this is like the patterns 4 and patterns 5 combined into one. But the pattern itself, you have your second finger on the 10th fret and your little finger on the 12th. And you're going to play 2, 4, 2, 4. These are finger numbers. And then 2, 4 again. Now normally on the next string it's 1, 4, but you're going to stretch your first finger out, grab the blue note, and pull it back in. And then the fourth finger on the 12th fret. Next string is just 1, 4. Next string is 2, 3, 4. This is on the B string and you're starting on the 10th fret. And then 2, 4 on the last string. And again it comes back. 4, 2. 4, 3, 2, 4, 1, 4, 1. Now instead of pushing your first finger out, you're going to grab the little finger on the A string, the next string, on the 13th fret, pull in, 2. So that's stretch 4, regular 4, 2, then just 4, 2 on the last one. The last pattern, pattern 6, is the same going forwards as it is coming back. And this is again probably why so many people learn it first and just kind of hang with this pattern. You want to know all these patterns so that you have no blind spots on the neck, so that you can ice skate around anywhere and know exactly where you are. The reason for grabbing the blue note, now when you grab the blue note on the left ascending and on the right coming back, this is only for when you practice, for when you run through these patterns. When you're soloing, you can do whatever you want. You can grab the blue note on either side. The reason why you do it when you're practicing it is to just make sure that you have it sort of hammered into your head where those blue notes are. Because when you're soloing, even a split second of saying, wait, where's that other blue note, is going to throw you off. So you want to know where they all are. Again, so this is when you're practicing, run it this way. When you're soloing, you can do whatever you want. Okay, we're up onto the 12th fret, and we're going to play the last pattern now. This is, as it relates to the major scale, in the major method, this is what's called pattern 6. You're on the 12th fret, and this is going to be the E blues scale with your first finger on the E. So this is the namesake of the blues. So whatever the letter name of the blues is, in this case E blues, if your first finger is on that letter, this is what the pattern is. And this is, again, the pattern that most people learn first off. You're going to play 1, 4, 1 finger per fret. So you're going 1, 4. The next string, coming first finger, staying on the 12th fret, playing 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 3. Then 1, 3, 4. Then 1, 4, 1, 4 on the final 2 strings. Coming back, it's 4, 1, 4, 1. 4-3-1, just 3-1, and 3-2-1, last string 4-1. All together that sounds. And the note that your little finger played on the last string, which is up on the 15th fret, that's the note that starts the whole process over again. So if you put your second finger all the way up there, then you would be playing the same pattern that you played down here, pattern, what we're calling pattern 7. So it's a big loop. It just starts all over again. So that's the blues scale. After introducing all 5 of the E blues scale patterns, I also provide an entire neck diagram that includes all of the patterns combined. You'll notice that they're exactly the same as the G major pentatonic shapes with these blue notes that are added. The blue notes are seen as @ symbols inside this set of diagrams.